Anthony Joshua's opponent, Jarrel Big Baby Miller, has failed a drugs test. They were due to fight on June 1st, but now that date looks like it could be in doubt after he failed a drugs test for using a banned substance called GW1516. Now, this substance is a fat-burning substance, but it is not any fat-burning substance. It's not something you could get over the counter. It is a fat-burning substance that will help you decrease weight, body fat, while also maintaining muscle, but increases endurance also, meaning that Jarrel Miller will have an undecided advantage in the fight, and also means that he can cut down on his weight without losing any endurance. Jarrel Miller can maintain a high intensity and high octane training camp as he prepares for Anthony Joshua. He will not be depleted in any way. He joins the list of recently a lot of fighters who are failing drugs tests. I am glad it is happening before the fights though. I'm glad it doesn't happen after. He could beat Anthony Joshua and then fail a drugs test. That would be the worst case scenario. So I'm glad these fighters are failing the drugs test before. It's not great and it's bad for the sport of boxing. It gives boxing a bad name because these fighters are failing drugs tests more frequently. But as I said, it is just a good thing that he failed before the fight instead of after. They are obviously stepping up the ante in this and being more strict and stringent with fighters and regulations when it comes to drugs tests, and they must be. There is no excuse for fighters to be failing drugs tests, and it's very dangerous for a fighter to go in there hyped up on some substance and hitting someone else in the head. It is very dangerous and someone is going to get hurt, and things needed to change, and they have. I'm glad fighters are failing before the fight instead of after, when something bad could possibly happen or something could go wrong. That's the last thing this sport needs, is for someone to get hurt and someone to fail a drugs test after. And as for Jarrel Miller, I mean, he accused Anthony Joshua of being the one who was a drugs cheat, and now he has failed a drugs test. Now, I don't really believe it was Jarrel Miller solely. There is obviously someone facilitating this. It is not just Jarrel Miller. I mean, that does not let him off the hook and that does not make him innocent at all. He took the substance. But also, there are people facilitating this. There are people who are supplying him with it. Those people need to be caught and brought to justice, really, because that is just not good enough. It will continue to happen if these people are not named and shamed. It's the fighter, obviously, who fails the drugs test. He is the one going in there and throwing the punches. But there are people behind the scenes who facilitate all of these banned substances and try to get away with it. Hopefully they won't. Hopefully fighters will be clean at some point. I mean, we can live in hope, but this fight looks like it could be in doubt now. Eddie Hearn has stated that Anthony Joshua will be continuing his preparation for June 1st, trying to maintain his positivity. But the fight really shouldn't be going ahead because obviously Jarrel Miller has failed a drugs test. He is taking a substance to enhance his ability going into this fight. A substance that will decrease his body fat, maintain a lean muscle mass, and also increase his endurance. So it's not a steroid, but it is as good as. It's almost like clenbuterol. Clenbuterol is very similar. That increases your lean muscle while simultaneously reducing body fat. The only problem with this substance is it increases heart rate, which is not great for boxing. But this other substance that Jarrel Miller has failed for obviously finds a way around that. So it is not a steroid, but it is as good as. So I don't really see how this fight can go ahead. It can't really after Jarrel Miller failing a drugs test, because this drug, I mean, it's not really a steroid, but still, it does give him an advantage going into the fight. If a fighter is cutting down weight and they are cutting down their calories, but training very, very hard and maintaining a high octane training program, then the body will be depleted, they will be tired, achy, and sore. They will not be able to maintain that high octane training for very long. It is extremely hard and takes its toll on the body because you are not supposed to lose that amount of body fat in a short amount of period. Because I know he has had 14 weeks, that is not very long to lose a considerable amount of body fat for the human body. It takes longer than that. So if he is taking this banned substance, it is obviously to help him in that way. And he should not fight on June 1st unless he is perfectly clean and cleared to fight. And even if the fight goes ahead, and even if he were by some miracle to beat Anthony Joshua, then this will be dragged up. It will never be a proper victory. This failed drugs test will be with him for the rest of his career, and there is nothing that he can do about it. Every win that he has, this will be dragged up, and every low point also. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? Should Jarrel Miller be pulled from the June 1st date? Do you think it will be? And who do you think Anthony Joshua will face instead? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below. Please like the video and subscribe for more content. Thank you guys.